So, it's Thursday morning to be exact. You get up at 9 o'clock because the drop is at 10. You want to have enough time to eat breakfast, get dressed, make sure you're right next to the router with that good Wi-Fi, because the drop is at 10 o'clock Eastern time, and if you miss it, you're going to be out of luck. So, you sitting there, you got your card ready, already out your card, everything. You low-key got your card stuff, laser etched in your brain, and then it's time. 10 o'clock on the dot. You hop on the app that you've been refreshing consistently on your iPhone, closing it, opening it, closing it, and you know exactly where your 3 items of victim are, because you saw on social media exactly where everything was going to be. Shouts out to YERRRR. So, you got them in the cart. You add 2 of them, but you add a 3rd as well, because you're not exactly sure if you want it, but you don't want to miss out on it, because then you're out of luck. So then you get all of that, it's in the cart, you hit the processing, that's after you enter all your information and everything. You're going through the processing, you get hit with that CAPTCHA. Due to all the pictures of cats, deselect the one that's a bird, boom. You're waiting for the thing. The process is going through. It gets to the last part and it looks like it's not going to go through. So you make sure that the Wi-Fi router is on and that your Wi-Fi on your phone is straight. Next thing you know, you get the email confirmation of exactly what you ordered and how much it was. And the next thing you hear is you get hit by your parents and they're like, what is this $122 purchase on your card? And the next thing you say is, it's Supreme. What's good, y'all? It's Nas. In today's video, we are going to be talking about the almighty high Supreme. Of course, we all know and love the brand, but in today's installment of Is It Worth It, I am going to be breaking down Supreme in a backstory, current skaters, production, and then y'all already know the breakdown. And at the end of the video, we will be going over, is it really worth it? So without further ado, now that we got our whole intro and all of that stuff taken care of, we're going to get into the backstory. Now, I do want to start this video with a little bit of the backstory on Supreme. Supreme was originally founded in New York, more specifically Soho, in April of 1994. The name of the original founder and still one of the owners of the brand is James Jebbia. At the time, James Jebbia was actually working for Stussy as a manager when he decided to open up a skate shop of his own. In that time, Supreme really didn't start to take off. It was basically just a regular skate shop, with the first items that they actually started selling were backpacks. So that's why you see the Supreme backpacks in their collections every single year, because it's something that they've been doing since the beginning. And with that being said, Supreme also built up a lot of their success on limited quantities with a very, very high demand for their products. And since then, Supreme has become a staple in hip-hop, streetwear, skating, and all the above. It's just one of the biggest staples of any other brand that we really know and love. So without further ado, let's get into some of these skaters for their current skate team. So now, I wanted to just list a few of the skaters that are currently on Supreme's skating team. First one being Tyshawn Jones, who also recently won, I want to say, the 2019 Skater of the Year for Thrasher. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below. Another one is Nykel Smith, with Jason Dill being the videographer for most of their videos. And another one I wanted to note is Sage L. Sesser. And without being said, let's also get to a few of the noted collaborations that Supreme has had. The first one being the North Face, which originally their very first collaboration was 2007. Nike, with their original collaboration being in 2002. Louis Vuitton, which was in 2017. Jean-Michel Basquiat, who was in 2013. Kenneth Capello, I want to say. I'm looking at my laptop so I don't mess that one up, which they collaborated in 2005. And Mark Gonzalez, who they've been collaborating with since 2007. And without further ado, let's get into the production. Now for the production, most of the t-shirts are mostly printed on Gildan tees, and they're just basically retagged with the little Supreme box logo and stuff on the tagging. Now, I do say that a lot of the other items are produced by brands like Hanes, Cordura usually makes their backpacks, and many more brands. If it's not really noted, then it's mostly just retagged Supreme items. Now, I did want to break down the item that I'm currently wearing, which is the Supreme and Akira collab from 2018. Now, this collab was for the, I believe, 30th anniversary of the Akira movie, because the movie takes place in, I believe, the 80s, and it's supposed to be Neo Tokyo in the future, which is 2018. This is one of the key characters in the movie because it basically goes around how he was injected with these different, medicines and stuff like that, and he started to become extremely smart, and as he got smarter, his body started to change. Now, this is towards the end of the movie where there's a part where the dude actually uses a shotgun and he shoots his arm off, and they just retagged it by putting the character in a box logo. Now, this shirt originally released for $44. I was actually able to cop this one for retail. I was also still in high school too, so to cop Supreme for retail while being a high school student is just like, it's like you just playing resale on Hall of Fame. I've had it since then. This one is tagged a medium, but most Supreme items usually do run a size bigger, so that's why I'm still able to wear it to this day, because I've definitely gotten taller since then, and this item has also held a lot of its value as well. But before we even get into value or anything like that, let's get into the breakdown. Now, the first thing that I want to go over is the categories that we use in every Worth It video to break down the item, brand, or collaboration that we are talking about. They are quality, quantity, exclusivity, hype tax, value, versatility, and then just overall product execution. So the first one we're actually going to start with is quality. And quality wise, I give these items a 6 out of 10. Most of the time, you're probably just copying t-shirts or just any other item that's just random that Supreme just be chucking out nowadays. And I just want to say a 6 out of 10 because this shirt is really just a Gildan tee. And I know we all know what a Gildan tee feels like. We've done the little charity things, or you've done a family reunion or something like that. So you know that Gildan tees is just like, they some regular stuff. It's nothing too fancy unless it's a Nike collaboration or something like that. As far as the other items go, the quality is usually okay. From time to time, you'll have that really, really good quality Supreme item, and then it'll just be like crazy. But as far as quality and stuff goes, it's really just a 6 out of 10. So without that being said, let's get into quantity. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is quantity. For quantity, I give it a smooth no-look pass 4 out of 10. Now, the reason for that is because there is not usually enough supply to meet the demand that Supreme has, especially with how much of the hype that Supreme carries as a brand itself. The quantity is usually very, very little. If you bought from Supreme before, you know if you're not on 11 o'clock on the dot on Thursdays, like every week most of the year, you're basically SOL. Like, there's no coming back from that one. Supreme is like Nike sneakers for streetwear. Like, just think of that. Like, you know how you take that L on the sneakers app, like every weekend with every shoe that you really want on every release? It's the same thing with Supreme. If you are not on there on the dot, or you got like some type of like bot or something like that, it's 9 out of 10 that you're not really gonna get the item that you are particularly looking for. Some people are lucky and they can do it manually without having, like the Google Chrome autofill for all the cards and stuff. But those people are just like, they're like the 3% like super beings when it comes to copying things app-wise and stuff like that. So with that being said, let's get into exclusivity. Now, for exclusivity, I did give it a solid 10 out of 10. And my reason why is it's Supreme. Like, even though there are very little locations across the world and things like that, you can't even really get it online either. But there's also very, very limited supply of Supreme as well, which helps keep the brand extremely, extremely exclusive. Maybe not as exclusive as it was in like the early 2000s, but still in modern day, to get certain Supreme items, they are extremely exclusive. Especially if you're talking about things like Supreme signature box logos and things like that. They're usually harder to come by than just going to, a like Bape store or something like that and being able to pick something up. Like, they are a lot more exclusive than a lot of the other streetwear brands that we usually know and love. And with that being said, let's get into value. Now for value, I did give Supreme a solid 5 out of 10. I give it a 5 as well, just because, just like anything, it's a really 50-50. You're really just like shooting in the dark as far as buying Supreme items, especially if you're buying and you're one of the people that resells items. Supreme can kind of be hit or miss. Like, you gotta keep your eyes peeled on a lot of the apps or like the pages on Instagram that post about the Supreme things and stuff like that, so that you know which items are gonna hold value and which ones aren't. And even the items that you pick up that you think and you looked at and you thought they were gonna hold value, sometimes they be flopping too. So it's really a 50-50 as far as value goes, and some things hold their value and some things Supreme wise you can get below retail. So it's really just a hit or miss. And with that being said, let's get into the hype tax. Now the next thing we are talking about is the most well-known part of Supreme, like any other brand streetwear wise, or like your Jordan or your Nike. The hype tax, I give a solid 6 out of 10. Now, a lot of y'all know Supreme because of this specific thing right here. The hype tax when it comes to Supreme items can be real. They will have people paying $100 for a brick with Supreme on it. Just think about like how smart of a marketing idea that is, and how smart Supreme is as a business for being able to actually allow other people to flip a red brick with Supreme on it. Like, just think about that. So the hype tags really be real with Supreme. The only reason it's not a solid 10 is because it doesn't always jump in value every single time. The hype tags on certain products can be real, more of like t-shirts and things like that people can mostly use kind of like, you know, like year round. But when it comes to other things, some of them just don't really be having that hype tax, and you could really end up getting them for cheaper after the release or after the collection ends. And now we get into one of the last two, which is versatility. Now for versatility, I'm not even gonna hold you. I give it a very, very smooth, solid, just put down, very fresh cement 3 out of 10. And the reason for that is because unless you are an influencer or you're just a person that has a lot of clout or something like that in general, a lot of the stuff isn't really that versatile for you. But not only that, you're not really going to use a good amount of the Supreme products that come out every single year. Like, they drop a lot of long sleeve items, but like some of the shirts and stuff too, it's not like you're gonna wear them every single day. And even if you are, you can find a lot cheaper alternatives to a lot of these things. So as far as versatility goes, I had to give it a 3 just because I don't see people rocking a whole Supreme collection unless it's someone like Miller or Eric Whiteback or something like that. Some people that like have the clout to really be rocking some of these pieces, and they can really get the fit off with everything off of one drop. But with that being said, let's get into the final thing, which is product execution. Now the last thing that we are going to be talking about as far as the breakdown goes is product execution. And for product execution, I give Supreme a solid 5 out of 10. And my reason for that is because, just like anything else I really talked about on the breakdown, it can really be hit or miss. Some things that they do can be very, very great, and then some things they can do can be very, very lazy. So it all just depends on the item and then like the collaboration, things like that. So that gives it a score of 44 out of 70. And now we're going to break down the most important thing, which is Supreme really worth it? So when it comes to is Supreme really worth it, in my personal opinion, it's not. But in streetwear, it all comes down to personal preference. Now, Supreme is a very, very well-known streetwear brand, so I do see why a lot of people would buy into that hype. And from time to time, to this day, I still do. So, that's really all that I really have to say on Supreme. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I also want to include, if you have any Supreme experiences that are different from mine, comment them down below. Also, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on this video. I hope you guys enjoy this installment of Is It Worth It? And I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.